Hey guys, in this lecture, we'll start grabbing data from the Firebase for the home table view. Later on, we'll learn how to display the data on the table view. The data we're talking about here are user posts and things like that, and we'll grab them from the Firebase database. Even for photos in storage, we'll query them using the URL strings we store on the database. To work with Firebase database, we need to import the Firebase database library. Alright, when the view is loaded into the memory, we'll start retrieving the posts from the database. Okay, let's see how we should implement this method. Of course, we'll need to look at the database root reference of our project on Firebase. Then, we use the child method to look at the posts folder, which contains data for all the posts. Now we have a Firebase reference object knowing all about this post's location. In particular, this reference object is able to observe some certain events happening there. Put down a dot here. Xcode will suggest a few events that this thing can observe. They are child added, changed, moved, and removed. If you choose the value event, this observer can detect any of those 4 events. The one we'll investigate now is the child added event. Child added here means that when we open the app, this observe can see all existing data on the database and can get it for us. And then if there's new data added to the database, it can detect that too. And once it's detected those events, it will get us the data associated with the events. Let's name the return data snapshot, which is of type FIR data snapshot. Alright, the app should run fine at this point. Again, if we build and run the app, this observer will look at the post's location. If there's any existing data there, that counts as a child added event. This observer will detect that and grab all data for us. Let's print out this data grabbed by the observer to see how it looks like. Actually, if we print its value property instead, we can see the content of this data in a more friendly format. You can surely print snapshot itself to see, but we'll skip that here. Alright. What we expect is that all posts on the database will be printed in some format that we yet to know. Alright. Good. You see a bunch of things printed out here. A few things we notice here. First, the grabbed data are in optional dictionary format. Second, this observer grabs each post one by one and puts it into a dictionary. So each post is grabbed and encapsulated into each own dictionary. In contrast, if we use the value observer, things will be much different. Of course, it's going to get the data from the database for us, but the way it does that is very different. Alright, there's only one optional dictionary, meaning it grabbed all the data at once. Moreover, if there's any change on the database, say this post is modified by adding a caption, the caption text is not important. Let's just put something in. Then add the change. Alright, this is not desirable. It grabbed everything before, but still grabbed everything on the database even for a minor change. This is due to the value event we specified for the observer. This observer will grab all data given any related change on the database. So let's get back to our child added event. Alright. Okay, let's see. Let's run the app to investigate it a bit more. We know that when the app runs, it'll grab all related data on the database. Now let's see what else it can do and what it can't do. Alright. Okay, it returned every post as we talked about. Now let's modify the database. First, let's say we repeat what we've just did. That is, we modify an existing post. So as before, we modify this post to have a caption, then add the change. Alright. Okay, nothing happened. So this observer can't detect change on existing data. Let's delete the change we just did. Okay, maybe just leave it there. Now let's add a new post to this posts folder. You can use anything for the relative path of this new child. Then click Add Value to input some data. Let's say the key is photo URL. Its corresponding value can be anything, just for testing purposes. Then add this new post. Alright, fantastic. This observer only grabs the new data and ignores unchanged data. Querying data this way is very efficient and will be useful later. Alright, you can delete the new fake data on the database if you want. Alright, so now we kind of know how to grab data from the database. Our next step is to display them nicely on the table view. Next time, we'll model grab data properly to make our life easier. See you then.